Hey neighbor, welcome back to ARTV. My name is John and today I'm reviewing the fourth studio album, After Hours by The Weeknd, a Canadian R&B, pop, and pretty much anything else that falls under his umbrella artist that pretty much dominated the 2010s in music. Abel took a few years away after his ultra-successful album Starboy at the end of 2016. Yes, giving us the quick EP My Dear Melancholy in the time between, but not officially revealing that the new album was on the way until the fall of 2019. I enjoyed that EP, but it faded from my memory pretty quickly, which wasn't exactly what I'd come to expect from The Weeknd. Both Starboy and Beauty Behind the Madness had large handfuls of tracks that I still listen to on a pretty regular basis, but I genuinely couldn't tell you the last time that I went back to that EP. Heartless and Blinding Lights dropped on back-to-back days in late November, and I was blown away at how well he showcased both sides of his artistry. Heartless bit down hard on his old habits to draw blood in the water, and the bounce that song had thanks to Metro Boomin's production had this going way harder than it had any right to go. Blinding Lights, however, was the casino jackpot grand prize. Holy shit, this is one of the best pop songs to hit my ears in ages. It's so refreshing to hear Abel gliding so gracefully over the 80s synth pop melodies, and it got me really excited for the album After Hours set to follow. With all this time in between records, did it live up to the hype? Las Vegas was a major source of inspiration for Abel when designing the aesthetics for this new era, that much can't be denied. Films like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas served as a muse for his creativity, and I have to say that I am loving the dedication for the bloodied up look he's rocking, even for the live performances. Although Vegas might be the location your mind is drawn to because of the visuals, of course, much of After Hours actually seems quite personal for Abel as he recoils to his hometown in Canada after years of thinking that he wanted to make his career in LA, but guess what? After an unlived-in house, an untouched pool that he couldn't swim in, a life that's not his own because he's always on the road playing shows, he decided that it's time to get out of California and the decay of life around him so he doesn't have to deal with the fakes and the snakes. He just jets it back to colder territories. This album is shockingly well balanced too. You'll run through a few tracks that mesh twinkling keys with his crooning voice and then some rolling 808s that'll go hard for a few cuts in the middle that bring out some rattling trap beats and even bigger egos, all before giving way to some spine-tingling 80s gold that melts away all of the worries, even though some of the writing gets pretty damn dark. Credit where credit is due, the production on this record pops off. Whether that be ILangelo, Max Martin, Frank Dukes, Metro Boomin, or even Tame Impala's Kevin Parker, this album is very pleasing to listen to from that point of view, even forgetting the existence of any lyrics for a moment. Imagine you're taking your boat out on the lake and no one else is out on the water. It's just you speeding full speed ahead with no choppy waves, no surf, just smooth vibes for days. One of the best layers to After Hours is Abel's ability to hook you on his story. While there's definitely throwaway lines here and there that irk me to an extent, it's mostly engaging from that perspective, as this feels like a nighttime drive through Sin City with The Weeknd at the wheel, and you in the passenger seat feeling the heat. Outside of the trilogy of mixtapes, I think this is Abel's single best cohesive body of work. I've always really liked him as an artist, but he never put out a full album that I fucked with entirely to the point where I wanted to spin the entire thing again and again. But he changed that up here, and you can really tell that care was given to every aspect of the record. Nothing feels rushed or forced. The ideas and stories just kind of flow out steadily like a river running to the ocean. However, things don't exactly take off right away on After Hours, which, alongside some of the excess cheese or predictability that comes with some of the songs, was probably my biggest criticism of the album. Alone Again opens the door by building suspense, and honestly, it does make me bite on the hook, but Too Late immediately after that feels a bit monotone to me. The personality doesn't bleed through a ton, and while Hardest to Love has for sure grown on me, there's so many other 80s dip cuts that do that sound here even better. After Hours isn't a reinvention of the wheel or even Abel attempting to do so. It's more so just a twisting of the best parts of his arts to fit nicely into a 56-minute album that consistently drips in his darker thoughts with vivid instrumentals that actually make you think about him as a person. Is he happy or miserable? Does he love the lust that he's surrounded by, or is it all just a facade? The answer is kind of complicated based on what he tells us on the album, but you're gonna have a hell of a good time trying to untangle it. Scared to Live is one of my favorite cuts on After Hours. I think he perfectly captures some of that 80s nostalgia without sacrificing the message, and the way that he interpolated one of my favorites from Elton John, Your Song, that shit was beautiful. I've drooled enough over Blinding Lights, but you know what? It deserves another round of circle jerking under the table, so yeah, this is pure bliss from start to finish. It does not get better than this, and I don't even want to know how many times I've already played this song. Every bit is amazing, but maybe just a hair below it for me is In Your Eyes, a synth-pop banger that sees Abel once again fending off romantic feelings to protect himself from either the hurt that he's caused or else his feeling internally. It's literally like a moonwalk in song form. It's so damn suave. Listen to those fucking saxophones and tell me that you don't feel it in your heart. We can't not talk about Save Your Tears. It's oozing with the 80s too, but it shimmers in a different way when compared to the others. I mean, there's a lot of 80s sounding stuff here, but his vocals hit all of the right notes as those synthesizers fire up the energy on this optimistic dancer. Faith takes on a trembling synth line and some tasty falsettos as Abel falls back off the wagon in style. This is a pretty tragic tale of drugs and lifestyle choices set to a bouncy synthwave instrumental, and that odd marriage of the bright and dark works wonders not just here, but throughout the entire album. I was really impressed with how he tackled slow-burning mood swings on a few notable songs like Escape from LA and the title track After Hours. Escape quite literally feels like a vision of packing up all your stuff and getting out of the city before it kills you. It's all paired up nicely with a swaying instrumental that's not afraid to gamble on some switch-ups, and it pays off big time. The title track is just a blessing from above. 6 minutes of pure ecstasy that knocked me right out of the ring. The brooding sensation it gives off feels like a villain slowly rising up and dragging a sword across the ground slowly as Abel takes a look in the mirror, realizing that his evil ways are never going to disappear, which carries us to the effective album finale, Until I Bleed Out, a swan song of self-awareness that puts vices over virtue. Don't look now, but The Weeknd just dropped his best project in a long-ass time. If you're into pop, R&B, trap, synth-pop, the 80s, any of the above, it's go time. Cue this up immediately. For what it does lack in originality or perhaps at times cheese, it more than makes up for with engaging lyrics, expressive vocals, and untouchable production, a nice mixture of sounds that really samples all of his best qualities as an artist. Let's put a rating on Album 4 by The Weeknd. I may have already gotten ahead of myself there, but After Hours, Album 4 gets a 4, and I'm excited to see all of his hard work and focus paying off like this. Thanks for checking out my review of After Hours. If you didn't catch my thoughts on Starboy, then give that review a go right here, or hit this card to see another recent review. All of my socials, including my Patreon page, are linked in the description if you want to help out the channel financially. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you soon for more right here on ARTV.